when there are a number of orders that are coming on daily basis, when you actually care about the users, how each design, each color can actually affect the decision making of the users. Right now, the trend is not just to implement some cosmetic changes and to get results out of that. It's more sort of implementing some AI scripts that can help us to like recommend the product better based upon the past recent searches that the users might have made. When you have implemented a single test and that went positive, so the thing is not over here. You again pick that section up and then you do some market research, like what other competitors are doing in the similar space, and then to start with the test again, and then you see the result comparing the improvement that you've already made and comparing the other thing that you personally feel that can give you the good number of results as well. Before implementing a test, you at least have a word internally with the design department along with the product team as well, like what are the changes if we are going to target a specific section of the page, what are the metrics that we already have live on the platform, and what are the numbers that we can get if the test will go positive for us.
Welcome to another episode of CRO Wizards Season 2 by VWO Podcast. With hours of in-depth conversations, we talk about using CRO to deliver what your users want, while also driving long-term growth for your business. Before we speak to our guest, here's a very quick overview of what we do. VWO is a leading experience optimization platform that enables you to gather in-depth user insights and build winning experiences across your website and mobile app. VWO Copilot, our AI champion, handles the heavy lifting of suggesting test ideas, creating variations, and finding insights, so you can focus on making strategic decisions that drive growth. Now, without further delay, let's jump right back to this conversation.
Joining us this time is Yash Kapoor. He's currently working as a product manager at BellaVita, where he plays a key role in optimizing the digital experience for a fast-growing D2C brand. With over 3.5 years of experience in the e-commerce industry, he has worked with both Indian and international brands, including Beyoung, GNC, ThriveCo, Bevzilla, BannerBuzz, Covers and All, and Neon Signs. Throughout his career, Yash has been deeply involved in data-driven experimentation, implementing A/B tests to optimize North Star metrics like conversion rate, prepaid percentage, AOV, and engagement. His primary focus has been on increasing user stickiness and retention by refining digital journeys and enhancing the overall shopping experience. In this conversation, we will explore his approach to experimentation, user research, and data-driven decision making. It's going to be an insightful and engaging chat, so stay tuned as we dive into Yash's journey and his perspective on building great products. Well, hi Yash, welcome to CRO Wizards Season 2 by VWO Podcast. How are you and what exciting things are you working on currently?
Hi, Gaurav. I hope you're doing absolutely good, and thank you so much for having me here in this the session that we're having here right now. And talking about the current things, I would say it is purely about e-commerce, and I would say on the website and the application part that the new things that we are coming up with, and it's more sort of the user engagement and the user journey that we are trying to like solve for that the better conversion rate, and of course for the better user journey as well.
Awesome. Before we start, would you mind taking us through a typical day in the life of a product manager?
Yes, absolutely. So I would say, I mean, first it starts off with, first I come to the office, I grab my cup of coffee, and then it usually starts with digging out to the data that what the number that we have previously seen in the previous day, what were the metrics that we're aligning with, and what are the number that we need to target for the upcoming time. Let's suppose if it's for a week or for a month basis or for a quarterly basis. And based upon that, we usually sit together, I mean, a couple of more product folks and along with the chief senior, I would say the chief growth officer that we have here in the office as well. Based upon that, we take some decision and then we dive in, start with the day, like what could be the daily basis. I would say the updates that we can start with, the daily basis scrums that we usually have with tech team as well. Like what were the current ongoing things that we are having right now. Based upon that, what's the update on that, and then finally come to an conclusion, I would say. So this is how typically a day would look like, starting off with the data part and then starting off with the execution in the daily working scenarios that we usually have. So that is how it is going.
Cool. That sounds like a lot in just a day. to be honest. But I'm sure all product managers are, as engrossed as you are. So yeah, let's start with some of the questions that we wanted to ask you. The first one
Sure.
would be, uh, are the beauty industry consumers shifting from impulsive buying to more calculated purchases these days? And how is their buying behavior evolving?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, agreeing to that point, I mean the question that you have put on, I would say in recent time, or I would say in recent years, the totally, I would say the journey have been completely, I mean, difference there have been in the industry, I would say, and based upon the recent conversions, or I would say the tracking also, or I would say the journey that we're getting from the different metrics that we use, there have been a vast change in what users usually used to get the conversion out of. Let's suppose it was from the website or from the application as well. The journey has been really, I mean, shifted towards a decision making kind of ability that the user are having as of now. Like if I mention you about previously, user were just more concerned about the brand name at the product. So right now the users are more concerned about what is the benefit that I am getting out of that product. So based upon people are right now, I mean, making sense about what are the benefits in terms of the data, like what proven things that this product have been shown in past scenarios, and how I can be more, I mean, how my skin, or I would say how I personally can get benefit out of that product. So yeah, based upon the metrics that we basically check on daily basis, I can certainly say that people are right now are more informed about their decision, and they are really informed about what product they are actually buying for, and it's not more sort of an impulsive behavior that people are usually buying the product for. It's more sort of a I mean, decisive decision that people are making. Like, is this product really going to help me, or what is the percentage of improvement that the product might have made, so that at least if I buy, how it can benefit for me. So I would say, yeah, I mean, the people have more sort of changed their mindset from buying it for an impulsive behavior to, I mean, actually getting the data and then to proceed with the decision.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Now that you spoke about the user behavior evolving, what kind of methodologies or tools do you use to stay informed about these changing user behavior, their demands, the preferences, and the current trends?
Yeah, absolutely. So talking about first, I mean, as the universal tools itself says, we use basically GA for the website part along with clarity, wherein we can get the heat maps of the user's engagement, like what are the hot topics that the user might have clicked on, what are the hot top scenarios where the person is clicking, so that at least we can also track what is the section where users are feeling themselves more engaged with the particular part of the page. And apart from that, we do have Clever Tab, and then Mix Panel, and then VW, of course, wherein we'll be able to like get an insight like how things are working, how people are actually coming on different pages. Let's suppose it's beyond home page, and then we do have collection page, and then product page, and then the cart level. So we basically divided the same into two scenarios. We call it as top funnel and bottom funnel. So there are two separate funnels that we have created from our side, and we check the same on daily basis through the tools that I've mentioned, how the metrics are aligned, and how, I mean, the numbers that we're getting out of that. Based upon that, we basically get an insight and the actionable items that we should be working on for the future.
Got it. Got it. Got it. And what is this role of accessibility in design? Do you think testing can help ensure accessibility in the UI UX part?
Yeah, of course. I mean, talking about the accessibility part, of course, I would personally feel, I mean, right now, the organization, what usually, I mean, in typically into e-commerce industry, people just create pages and then start with the advertisement part and like start with the flow. So, when you grow to a certain level, when there are a number of orders that are coming on daily basis, when you actually care about the users, how each design, each color, I would say, or each edge of the design can actually affect the decision making of the users. So at that point of time, I would say certainly testing usually comes into picture, where you can actually test two versions, two designs, two functionalities at the same point of time and get the results out of that. So for me, I would say right now here at BellaVita, we are also, I mean, into the same scenario where we are actually testing different design sets, different color themes, different functionalities, so that at least we can get insights from our users only, what are they as being the customer liking to the most. and I mean what is being helping us to get the business out of as well.
Can you share just an example? I mean, you spoke about color themes, you spoke about so many different small aspects of design. Any
Right.
small example, maybe in the recent times that you have probably tried and tested, and it gave you some kind of understanding?
Yeah, absolutely. So talking about that part, I would say right now, I mean, we do have one of our brand which is called as ThriveCo, in which we do sell hair serums and all sort of products related to the concern that is the users might face related to the face, the hair serum and for the hair related problems. On that website, we basically were just having add to cart CTA, wherein the user was just clicking on add to cart and then the card used to appear. So there was a addition of extra click where user was just going to the add to cart and then opening the checkout and then going to the checkout next step and then adding to the address page. So what we basically thought of, we were just thought, okay, why not we if we can just add a buy now button on that page itself, and we can just make sure that the color differs, so that at least user might be having an idea like what is the CTA that I'm clicking on. And as per the brand thing that we were having, we thought to keep that buy now CTA on that specific color, so that that should be the highlighted one, because we being the PMs, we just want the user to basically pass on to the buy now button, so that at least one step of navigation can be eliminated, so that if let's suppose 1,000 people have clicked on buy now, and so that more person can get converted in terms of the numbers if we can get. So if we were getting 1,000 numbers on add to cart, and then if we go to the next page which is checkout, so around 20% people if actually have dropped down from that page, and then the payment have been by only 10%. So the beach so the I mean the variation that we're having on checkout page can be eliminated by that buy now button. So
Right.
that was a CTA test that we did on the PDP level, along with color and along with the review section as well. That really helped us to, leverage the conversion out of that. And that was into testing that we did via VWO tool only. And that really helped us to, leverage the conversion from that part. And from that test only, we were able to get an idea like how many people are actually coming on that CTA, and out of that, how many people are actually getting converted. So there was a certain number of upliftment of CR that we directly saw in terms of, implementing this test.
That was very insightful, uh, quite strategically thought uh, behind it. So this was really helpful.
Yep.
Moving on, what kind of test does a D2C brand conduct? I mean, this is a question that still a lot of new age growth marketers or product managers also have in mind. I mean, A/B tests and multivariate tests are very common, but
Yep.
what is the scope of advanced server side testing, and that too in India itself? What are some of the key use cases as well that you can talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as far as my knowledge concern, I mean, I've been into industry from quite a long time. I personally feel that people usually start with an A/B test, wherein they first of all go with the front end changes and cosmetic changes, which certainly will not be the only way to get insights on the website, or I would say on the application as well. Apart from the front end cosmetic changes, there would be some certain back end or the server to server side functionalities changes as well. So if I talk about BellaVita only, or I would say for Thrive as well, we basically tried to change the checkout, wherein the integration was done on the server level, where we tested different OCC platforms, which were one-click checkout. There are in India, there have been a lot of platforms which are providing the address pre-filled and all sort of checkout related. The complete setup where you can just go to checkout step and you can get your address and then you can complete the journey. So that eliminates the entire checkout hampering, and I would say the engagement metrics have been improved. So that was certainly a test that we thought from our side, and then that really helped us to like leverage the conversion part as well. So talking about server side test, they could not be just related to the cosmetic changes. Of course, there could be some the functionalities that can be built from I would say from backend panel as well. That could be some of the examples could be somewhere around discounting things. Some things could be related to the price offering as well. Like suppose on A version you are showing the different price, and on the B version you're trying to create a segment for some specific of users who can get a different pricing plan as well. So that can also be a different way to like check apart from just the UI related changes.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Obviously, I mean, whenever any of the PMs or marketers they are asking, they are definitely asking for much more ideas on what else that they could test. So pricing is something that definitely we should recommend them. Cool. Uh, the next question would be, how should tests should be planned for a D2C brand? I mean, and what kind of key metrics should they aim to improve? Because they certainly have, there is one North Star metric, but then what are the key metrics that you would also follow and you would like to suggest?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. So, talking about the structure, like how A/B tests usually should be performed and how the structure of the overall, the cycle should be completed in order to get the best results out of that test would be certainly first of all, before implementing a test, we at least have a word internally with the design department along with the, I would say the product team as well. Like what are the changes and along with the data set as well. Like if we are going to target a specific section of the page, what are the metrics that we already have live on the platform and what are the numbers that we can hope or we can get if the test will go positive for us. So for example, if any of the e-commerce website, the primary metric for that website would be to appraise the conversion rate.
Correct.
So there could be n number of use cases. There can be different parameters on which the conversion rate could be impacted. So let's suppose on PDP you made some changes which can highly impact your conversion rate, or either you have made some changes on cart level which can highly impact your conversion rate. So from my side, what I personally feel, identifying the specific section on the page will define your metrics, how well your test is going to succeed or not. So let's suppose if on PDP only, if you're going to, on product description page, if you're going to specifically start the specific test, then the other step would be to, to get an idea like what is the test that you guys are, going to start off. So let's suppose if you take an example of pricing strategy only, then we should be having some study in hand to validate the hypothesis whether if we are going to change the price, what would be the impact that we may face apart from the positive side as well. What can be the negative side that we may face if in order the test will not go positive for us. So once the that part is ready, once the data is being validated, once you are done with your own thought process, like now I'm ready to start with the test and this is what I should be testing off with, then probably on platform you can come on and then you can set up your test, you can define different metrics. So for example, if setting up a test in which you are changing the prices, this certain uh, I would say the primary metric would be add to carts, because on that basis, users are being, they are judging the product on the basis of price. And talking about Indian market, they are basically highly adapted in terms of the price. So Indian market usually, Indian users, I would say, usually see the price first. So that should be the first. The way of interaction for the users on the page itself. So if we are changing the price of the on the test, the first metric for us would be to at least check the add to carts and then to start with the other metrics. Then after add to cart, that would be the next step for us to track the conversion metric, which may include checkout initiated, like how many people who have clicked on checkout, CTA. And after that, we can include bounce percentage, on the PDP as well as a secondary metric, which will give us the idea like how many of the users who came onto the page actually went back to the page, so that what is the bounce that we were getting before the test and what is the bounce percentage that we are getting after the test. So that will give us the insights from the user side, like how the engagement of the overall page have been through. And the end metric for me to judge the test would be of course the conversion rate. Like we've made the test live and we are getting the good results out of it, but the end goal would be to of course get the conversions. Like what is the x number percentage or x amount of improvement that I have expected from this test, and once the test has been completed, like what is the actual results that we are receiving. So that would be certainly a journey, or I would say a funnel that will help me being a PM to judge whether a test is being successful for me or not.
Got it. Got it. Now, just a follow up question on this. We spoke about planning, but how would a PM decide on a frequency of the number of tests probably planned out in a month or maybe a quarter? Any suggestions on that part?
Yeah. So for that, basically, what we personally do at our internal level, that we basically create a sheet in which we want to specifically target a page. So let's suppose if uh, in the month of March, if we are just, for example, targeting a page called a homepage only, where we are getting X amount of sessions on daily basis. And based upon that, what could be the areas of improvement that we may face on that specific page, based upon the number of improvements, or I would say based upon the number of suggestions that we get from within our internal team and from different departments as well. Let it be design team or let it be, of course, the chief product officer as well. We calculate from our side like what could be the frequency of the test that we may implement through a month, or I would say in a certain week or in a certain month. Because what I've personally seen is that when you, mix a lot of tests at a single point of time, that may deviate you, the users base from getting the actual results. Because ideally, you should be giving one test its own time, at least a week or a 2 or 3, or how much amount of time that is required for a test. You should ideally be giving that amount of time for that specific test. Once the test is being concluded, then only you should start with the another one. Or if in a case of urgency that you are having, probably you can start with the 2 or 3 tests at a single point of time, while making sure that each of the test user segment is different from the other, so that at least you are not getting user base on a certain level same. Like if me coming to the test 1 and then I'm coming back to the test 2, so in the term of that, I probably from the data level, my results may vary. So that is something that can be checked based upon the number of improvement that you need to make sure, and making sure like what is the timeline that you will be starting off the test.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Cool. Now, you recently spoke about positive and negative impact.
Yep.
So my next question is actually around that. Let's say a test fails, and still a lot of people, they are not sure how to apply those learnings. So
Yes.
how do you apply these learnings from it to build an iterative process for long term growth? Because even management would be asking you about the ROI regularly. So
Yes.
what are your suggestions in terms of planning to apply those learnings?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first of all, before starting a test, we personally decide the same within our organization. Let's suppose if we are starting 5 tests, like what could be the percentage of improvement that we may expect before this? This we usually do before starting a test. Like, what is the certainly, I would say, the percentage of improvement that we may expect if we start with the test. So we are pretty much aware of the consequences that may arise, even if we are having in a doubt. Let's suppose if you're starting a test today, and after a week or two we may expect the results to go negative for us, we basically drill down into the data, like what were the metrics that were aligned with the test and what are the numbers that we're getting out of that. So let's suppose if in a test the conversion has gone negative, but the add to carts and the checkout initiate CTAs have gone positive, so that may give us a wrong picture. Because ideally I would say the certain ways to check the number of people who have clicked on add to cart and then on the checkout initiate CTA. So the problem cannot be on the conversion level. The problem can be on the other 2 pages as well. So my ideal process is to actually check test based upon the metric that I've been signed on, and what were I would say the downfall that we have expected from a test, that it should have gone in a positive level, but right now it is not going like positive for us. So on a certain level, I would say if the test is not performing for us, we drill down in a specific metric, and by metric, each metric we basically check if things can be improved. Let's suppose if checkout is not working for us, so there can be some certain improvement that can be made specifically on checkout, so that at least we can restart the test, and with those certain improvements, we can expect the test to go positive again. So it's a iterative process. It's not more sort of a thing that once the test is gone negative, then it's over. Of course, there are certain improvement that we usually do on those tests as well, and then rerun the test till the time we are coming finally to the conclusion.
Understood. Understood. Cool. Uh, while I have asked you a couple of examples of the recent test, but any of the other examples of test or any kind of user analysis findings that you probably remember, even sometime back also, that you would like to share for the audience today?
Yeah, absolutely. As we started off with the discussion related to the impulse buying versus the people who are buying the product, to be very precise, and like they're making their decision. So I would say, in the space that we are working as of now, the choice of the people and the decision capability have been really changed. And it was not more sort of the impulsive buying that the behavior that I'm observing as of now. It's more sort of what is the certain amount of improvement that you can provide to the user in terms of the product. So that still needs to be added on the product pages, and that specific quality to be called out in each product that you're selling out, so that at least me being a user, I would say the users are selecting the product, they should be well known about the product, and not just with the brand, but they should trust based upon the ingredients and based upon the things that have been added to that product, so that they're also well versed with the product and they can get an idea. And for a longer duration as well, we will be able to capture the user once the product is over. And then on the retention side, we can also target the user again. So the trends have been so far not in terms of the impulse behavior, but in terms of user being very informed about the product and they're choosing their product very, I mean, making the decision very strategic.
Okay. Just a follow-up question over here. As you spoke about the trends and everything, let's suppose you had a recent test on one of the PDPs, and uh, how often you would want to test again on the same PDP, even if things are working fine. Because this has question has come up a lot of times that if in case you are getting good conversions from a certain PDP, till what time you should not touch it, or probably you should test out again on that particular PDP.
See, what I personally feel, I mean, there can be a number of combinations that you can implement on certain product pages. And definitely, there would not be any certain limit to make the page conversion late, because once you go with the test, once you have made certain improvements on the pages, there are less number of opportunities that you may arise or you may come up with uh, on the page. So that it's more sort of an iterative process that you keep on repeating again and again and again. When you have implemented a single test and that went positive, so the thing is not over here, then you again pick that section up, and then you do some market research, like what other competitors are doing in the similar space, and what other people have been doing on the similar kind of a product on the website. And then to start with the test again, and then you see the result, comparing the improvement that you've already made and comparing the other thing that you personally feel that can give you the personal, I mean, a good number of results as well. So that is more certainly a iterative process for us, and it's more sort of keep on, I mean, going back and rolling back again and again. It's not more sort of that you have implemented a test and it's over. So let's suppose, for example, if we take an example of review section where users are basically keen to know about the product, like
Yes.
how actual users might have seen the product and what is the actual image of the products. So once you have created or recreated the review section, and then it's not over just with the section, you keep on changing the themes based upon the new trends that are coming into the market. For example, nowadays people usually believe on the social video commerce as well. So it's been, I mean, really important parts for the brands to basically place those kind of sections on PDP as well. That gives the users a sense that these are the genuine products and these are the products that are being bought by real users and their real examples are there. So that usually gives the instinct to the users to buy the product more, and ultimately for the business to get the more conversion out of that.
Perfect. Perfect. Now we have spoken about test and everything, but you as a PM as well. So how things overlap? Like how do CRO and product management overlap? When does it become necessary to move beyond testing and also take a product manager's perspective, because there are certain other roles and responsibilities as well as a PM. So
Yep.
your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I mean, I would say A/B testing or any sort of a testing is a part of PM's job role, and it's not just the testing is the job role of any PM. That is personally, I would say it's the way the testing been taken into, I mean, into recent scenarios. It's been assumed that this is the only way by which we can achieve the success. Certainly, that would not be the only way. Beyond testing as well, there have been a long journey where a user, I mean, a PM basically gets into the job wherein they first get along with the data, like how the metrics are performing, and then they come to a decision. Once the decision is being made, then they come to the design level, like what are the hypotheses, or I would say what are the design changes that we may expect the test to come out with. Once the design is ready, then you're going to the development team to get the development done, and then the development is done, then you're going on the tool as well to like set up the entire functionality and to set up the goal. And once the test is positive, then you are re-implementing the same on your live website for the users. And then you are checking the same, the metric that you're checking again with the test results that you got to validate if the number that we are getting are accurate with that or not. So it's completely a cycle that we basically keep on following. It's more sort of a longer duration, or I would say a longer cycle or a bigger cycle. Uh, if we just include the testing part apart from that, I mean, there are certain more responsibilities that a PM usually takes care of. And I mean, to on a larger scale, on a monthly level or a quarterly level, or I would say on a yearly level, there are certain top star metrics that we basically aim to leverage that. And testing is a way to get some insights of to leverage that top star metric to the desired number.
Got it. Got it. Now, continuing our discussion with the product management aspect, we definitely see a lot of new trends happening in the product management role. We see a lot of things happening on Zomato, Swiggy, and LinkedIn is all full of it.
Yep.
What are some of the new trends that you are also looking forward to, and how can today businesses leverage these trends for growth?
Absolutely. I mean, right now, the trend is not just to implement some cosmetic changes and to get results out of that. It's more sort of we are living in a yeah, in I would say in a period where AI have been into times so far, and we are also trying our side from our side to get some insights out of that and to implement the same on our platforms as well. Let it be personalization, let it be implementing some AI scripts that can help us to I mean, help users to recommend the product better based upon the past research. I would say the recent searches that the users might have made. So there are certain, I would say, the functionalities that can be driven not just based upon manual logics, but can be driven via certain AI logics as well. So my process, or I would say my agenda, would be, of course, to get my hands dirty on those kind of a projects and to implement the same on our website and on application as well to get the conversion out of that. So the trend right now, it's not more sort of to get the manual logics only. It's more sort of to get some I would say some feature functionality builds on AI only, so that at least we can get output of that as well.
Got it. Got it. Now, actually, that was my last question. That how is AI plays in testing and product management as well? You answered some part of it definitely, but what would be your suggestions on do's and don'ts in the PM role and in the testing aspect? What could be some of the limitations that you can't really rely on the AI aspect for these things, but then you can definitely leverage AI for more of those aspects in PM's role.
Understood. So what I personally feel, while there have been a lot of apps and website wherein you can get, I would say, certain help from, let's suppose if they use, I mean, a PM is making PRD. So there are a lot of apps that you can help and you can get the PRDs done. But ultimately, to build the logics and what certainly will fill the gap for the users that your website and application might be having is certainly a PM's job, and that can be done via human brain only. But there are certain, I mean, I would say side hacks that you can get from different application websites that are built on AI platforms as well. But ultimately, the work is done by the human element as well. So on that part, I would say, I mean, of course, on daily basis for a PM job role, testing is kind of a thing. I mean, the functionality can be not human driven, but the logic or the way, or I would say the certain plans that you are coming up in the metric that you are targeting for the upcoming time, that is something can be decided by a PM, or I would say a person only, not just by AI.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, that was our set of questions. But before we wind up today, I definitely have a few set of rapid fire questions.
Sure.
Before I start with that, it's Friday evening. What is your favorite way to unwind after a long day?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's been a long weekend for us too. We've been also working on a lot of tasks at this point of time and really focusing to get result out of that. So, I mean, just after this, I'll just go with the team and we'll just have a quick catch up about what we have done so far and what are the things that we'll be coming up with for the next week as well. So, a quick team catch up and then along with we'll be starting it off on Monday.
Awesome, awesome. Great. Then let's get started with the rapid fire questions. You know the drill that whatever the first thing that comes to your mind and with these questions, you can let us know about it. So yeah, my first question would be: if you were starting a career in CRO today, what is the one thing that you would do differently?
Okay. I personally will first of all get into the data because that is the only thing that gives you the exact picture before implementing any test or before implementing a design. You should be clarity. You should be having clarity enough in your mind, like what is the thing that you're targeting on. So I mean, as long as I'm, I mean, occupying my time into getting deep dive into data and getting numbers out of that and getting insights out of that. That is what I will be doing myself in.
Okay. Okay. That's great. Any newsletter that every CRO professional must follow these days?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the newsletter that you guys have. I mean, there are a lot of VW also keeps on coming up with a lot of changes that other organization might have made, and what are the hypotheses or I would say case studies that are coming up. So on daily basis, I would say whenever that comes on, I usually keep a check on that. And of course, on LinkedIn, there have been a lot of people who have been I've been following to them. They usually
Right.
keeps on posting a lot of things about CRO. Or I would say certain level things of testing, how I mean, you can improve your website or application by doing some certain small cosmetic changes, hacks. So that is what I keep on reading on daily basis.
Any names, couple of people that you follow regularly that you remember?
Name not so far, but I would say, of course, the newsletter that you guys do follow that is from VW as well,
Awesome.
which I keep on following on regular basis.
Cool, cool, cool. Three books that you would recommend to our listeners, whether it could be related to PM, A/B testing, CRO, anything.
Yeah, absolutely. See, to be very honest with you, I'm probably not will be the best person to answer you on that part because I've been not been reading a lot of books from a quite a long time, so I'm actually not aware of the books at the point. But yeah, I mean, I would certainly say there are certain groups on LinkedIn as well. There are certain people or there are certain communities where you can get into and you can get overall, I mean, an idea of how things are working rather than in the book knowledge.
I'll probably check with you once again on the some set of people that you have been following on LinkedIn, whom you think will
Sure,
have the best knowledge and expertise on that. But yeah,
sure.
what's your go-to travel destination?
Okay, so I personally like to go to mountains a lot. So whenever I get some time, I usually go to some places within India. It would be Himalayas, or I would say in Kashmir side, or all sort of places. That's I certainly enjoy.
What is the next destination in your bucket list?
I'm probably guessing that there've been a lot of places which I've been to into mountains area, but certainly near beaches is something that I want to explore. Within India, that could be Andaman and Nicobar Island and Lakshadweep. Of course, I'm targeting to go on.
That is a great choice. That is a great choice. One thing that AI will replace in the next 3 years. That is
Okay. So, I mean, in terms of the daily job operations that we do, in terms of handling the requirement and giving it to the tech team and getting the things received from the designing, because there are a lot of to and fro that people usually have. We being into PM usually also do by, and that takes a lot of time by taking the requirement and getting the PRD done and delivering it to the concerned team. But I personally feel there could be some ways, I mean, through AI that can be helped by, I mean, I would say, not certainly by getting the ideas, but I mean, delivering the requirements to the concerned department and to fulfill the exact gap is what certainly AI can do.
okay. Okay. If not a PM, what other profession would you have chosen?
Okay, so that's, I mean, that's
Not
something that
the
I
typical
also grab.
engineering or those kind of backgrounds, but anything else that you might.
I personally like designing a lot, so I would have been myself into a UI UX designer kind of a person who actually designs and solves users' problem.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. One CRO metric that you wish people would stop obsessing over.
CR, of course, that is conversion rate. I mean, before CR, there are a lot of metric which is add to cart, and of course, bounce exit percentages, and I mean, there are different other ways to track conversions as well. But just purely doing the testing for conversion rate is not the ideal way to judge any test.
Okay, awesome. The last one would be a dream or goal you want to achieve in the next 3 years.
Okay, so I mean, within the organization, we have basically aiming to like get the numbers on for the website and the application part. So certainly, I would just want there are certain AI related chatbots, or I would say certain improvement that I want to make on the website part, so that at least we can get some output of that as well. I'm from the CRM side and from the other operation side that we are doing on daily basis can be removed. So my here involvement would be to like I mean, do the less human work that I mean the people can do from CRM side. It's more sort of a manual automated process that teams can. I mean, the some of the tools or I would say some functionalities that we can make can do and can replace their work.
Awesome. Well, that was it. Yash, thank you so much for the time, for the learnings, for the insights that you shared from your current processes and whatever you have done. It was really helpful, and I hope this could be helpful for a lot of new age PMs who are venturing into CRO or A/B testing and experimentation. So yeah, a big thank you to you for your time once again. And
Thank you. Thank you so much for this platform. Thank you.